Tengri's thunderbolt split the sky, and the Ergenekon mountains roared as fire rained from the heavens. The Oghuz people trembled, for this was not nature's wrath, but the sky god's judgment upon their broken oaths. Yet the ancient texts whisper that Korkut Ata, not Oghuz Khan, first defied Tengri's will, hiding the truth in the bones of the steppe. Above, Tengri's voice echoed through the Altay mountains, his breath shaping the clouds that birthed the first Turkic tribes. Below, the Ergenekon's jagged peaks cradled the Oghuz in a prison of stone, their survival tied to the wisdom of Korkut Ata, who alone knew the path to freedom. Ume, the mother goddess, wept in her underground realm, her tears carving rivers that fed the steppe's golden grasses and the Bozkurt wolves who prowled its edges. Koban bards, their faces painted with ash and stars, chanted the 12 tales to appease the spirits, their voices merging with the howls of the Bozkurt. The sky was not empty. It was Tengri's altar, where every storm was a hymn, every eagle's cry a prayer. The steppe was not wild. It was Umay's loom, weaving fate from the threads of wolf and man. And in the silence between thunderclaps, the tales waited, etched into the bones of the earth, ready to rise again. The first tale, The Wolf's Pact, saw Korkut Ata kneel before a Bozkurt, its fur black as midnight, eyes gleaming with ancient wisdom. A dying Oghuz child lay at his feet, breath shallow as the steppe wind. The wolf demanded a trade, a shard of Korkut's own bone, forged into a pendant to bind the child's soul to the land. The bard obeyed, and the child's heartbeat surged, a hymn to Tengri's mercy. Yet the wolf's howl echoed, "Strength is not in the sword, but in the hand that gives." 5 tales later, the Iron Khan's justice roared through the steppes. A Khan, drunk on gold, had poisoned the rivers and the land withered. Korkut Ata told of a wolf who starved itself to feed its pack, its bones becoming the riverbed's first stones. The Khan's greed crumbled, the steppe bloomed again. In the spirit of the steppe, a shaman descended to Umay's realm, only to find her tears had stolen a soul, a test of Korkut's courage. The spirit was never lost. It had waited for the bard's voice to reclaim it. By 1894, Vasily Radlov, his quill-trembling transcribed fragments from Turkmen Kobans, revealing the epic's 100,000-verse spine. The tales, whispered for centuries, now lived in ink, their moral fire unquenched. Korkut Ata's body bore the tattoos of the Bozkurt, their black fur etched into his skin like ancient runes, and the stars of Tengri's sky burned in his eyes. He walked the boundary where the heavens met the underworld, his voice a bridge between realms. Tengri's thunder spoke in riddles. The Oghuz must rise, but their Khan's betrayal must not be named. Umay's tears whispered, "Compassion is the blade that cuts chains." The Bozkurt tested him with silence. How long could he endure the howl of a wolf without breaking? Yet his greatest sin was the silence he kept. Oghuz Khan's oath to the steppe, broken in blood, was buried in his throat. For 700 years, the Ergenekon's prison held the Oghuz, their fate bound to Korkut's tongue. One night, a spirit of the steppe, its form a swirling storm of grass and ash, appeared to him. The tales must be told, it hissed, or the Oghuz will be erased, their bones turned to dust. Korkut's hands trembled. He had hidden the truth, fearing the god's wrath, but now the steppe itself demanded reckoning. The 12 trials were not mere stories, they were the Oghuz's soul bound to the bard's silence. To speak was to defy Tengri, to break Umay's tears, to unleash the Bozkurt's fury, yet to stay silent was to let the Oghuz vanish, their legacy swallowed by the mountains. The spirit's voice faded, leaving only the wind's whisper, "Choose." In 2001, UNESCO's torchlight fell upon the Oghuz Khan epic, its 12 tales etched into the bones of the steppe, now recognized as humanity's shared heritage. Turkish scholars, led by the Turkish Ministry of Culture, launched expeditions across Anatolia and Central Asia, unearthing Koban scrolls buried in Kazakh yurts and Azerbaijani village archives. In Baku, Murat Bardakçı's translations revealed the tale's roots in pre-Islamic shamanism, their wolf allegories echoing the Bozkurt's ancient pact with Tengri. A film titled Korkut Ata, The Wolf's Pact, premiered in Istanbul, its protagonist not a Khan but a bard, his face painted with ash and stars, his voice trembling as he bargained with a wolf whose eyes held the sky's own thunder. Meanwhile, in Turkmenistan, elder Kobans gathered under the Altay's shadow, their chants weaving through the air like Umay's tears, each syllable a thread in the steppe's loom. At a 2015 festival in Konya, a young Koban, her hair braided with wolf teeth, performed The Spirit of the Steppe, her voice merging with the howls of real wolves circling the stage. The tales, once whispers in the dark, now roared through modern screens and school curricula, their lessons of sacrifice, justice, and the sky's unyielding gaze carved into the hearts of a new generation. Yet the spirit's warning lingered. Silence had nearly erased the Oghuz. But now, their stories lived on, not in ink, but in the wind that carried them across the world. The eternal lesson of Korkut Ata's tales is not in the thunderclaps of Tengri or the howls of the Bozkurt, but in the quiet pact between man and earth. When the Oghuz Khan's betrayal was buried in Korkut's throat, he chose silence over war, knowing that the steppe's survival hinged on patience, not power. Today, in the shadow of the Altay, a young Koban named Aysel chants the wolf's pact to a crowd of children, her voice trembling as she describes the bard's sacrifice.